Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the beginning of the week technical analysis. Quick disclaimer. Nothing that I share on this call is financial advice. Everything that I share during this call is for educational purposes only. Nothing that I share during this call is for financial advice. Cool beans, cool beans. All right, guys, let's jump into it. I'm extremely tired tonight. I was gonna take a nap about 3 hours ago before the call, and then I end up getting a phone call, and I'm just not wrapping up that call about 15 minutes ago. I was literally on a business call for about 3 hours, so I'm extremely tired. But as always, I'm going to give you guys my beginning of the week technical analysis. So let's jump into it. Looking back at yesterday's pre-week analysis, I told you guys that I expected the dollar to open up bearish, pulling down into Friday's discount PD array, right? We literally came about 20 pips away from the 62% PD array. And I told you guys if we could not run those discount arrays and break and close below those, that I expected us to run Friday's buy side liquidity and get back above. um I'm sorry, I told you guys that I expected price to run on Friday's buy side liquidity if we did not break and close below Friday's discount PD arrays. And I told you guys I also expected us to run the yearly high. This black line right here. If I zoom out, you'll see this black line right here is the yearly high from March the 8th. And this new shaded area that I put on here is a volume imbalance that we have from December 2022. So we broke above that we broke above that yearly high, right? Got to close above it. So being that we just broke the yearly high, I'm looking over here. I see this volume imbalance also that we just broke above, right, and closed above right here. So now my next area of interest is this buy side liquidity here and this fair value gap, right? So I'll go ahead and throw a level on that, right? And we see this fair value gap sitting right above that. And so if we can find support on this volume imbalance that we just broke, right? Um, and on top of that yearly high, then of course I expect us to run up to that next buy side liquidity. If we cannot get back above today's high, right? Um, then I expect us to run down into um today's discount levels, right? Which I have put on the chart right here. 62.79 sell side liquidity. So yeah, according to what the market gives us throughout the rest of Asian market and London market will be will determine which way price is going to go for tomorrow. I would like to see us run today's buy side liquidity, but close below it, right? Giving us that confirmation that price wants to come back down into discount price of today's price range, right? And like I said, if we cannot break back below this yearly high and on the top of this volume imbalance, I expect price to keep pushing higher to run that next buy side liquidity to the upside and possibly run into that daily fair value gap, right? So if we break below it, if we break below this discount, PD array 62 and 79, then of course I expect price to run this sell side liquidity, and potentially come down into the weekly discount arrays. That's what I'm expecting out of the dollar. So I'm looking for, but my bias is still to the upside, right? My bias is still to the upside as it was yesterday. I wanted to see us open bullish. Bearish to pull down into Friday's PD array, but my bias was to the upside. So we got that. So let's look at currencies, guys. I expected us to pull back up into Friday's PD array, premium PD array, right? Because I wanted to see the dollar pull down into its Friday's PD array, discount PD array, right? And we know that our currency pairs that we look at on the calls move inversely correlated with the dollar. So we got that pull back up into Friday's PD array, and then price slammed down through the weekly sell side liquidity with that aggressive push up that the dollar gave us today, right? So same thing for currencies, just vice versa, right? If we cannot break below the daily sell side liquidity from price action today, then I expect us to pull back up into today's premium levels. And then we'll see how price react to those levels if and when we get there. But I do want to see Euro USD continue to the downside. So my bias for Euro USD is to the downside. Since we got the dollar to run its yearly high, I am expecting Euro USD to run its yearly low. It's just lagging. So let's see what today. Let me look at the Forex factory calendar really quick and see what we got coming out tomorrow. We have consumer confidence tomorrow and new home sales and Richmond manufacturing index. So yeah, we do have high impacting and moderate impacting news drivers tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Maybe that will be the drivers that we need to see Euro USD run its yearly low. So that's what I'm expecting out of Euro USD. GBP USD, same thing. Basically, if we can't get below sell side liquidity, I expect us to run back up and retest um, first today's premium PD arrays, right? And if we can get above that weekly sell side liquidity, then I expect us to run up into Friday's premium PD arrays, right? But we still have yearly low down here around 1.18008. So let's see if we also have this imbalance right here. All right. So a lot of imbalance to the downside. And I think we could get that this week, guys, with the news drivers that we got coming out. So let's see. Let's see what we have. NZD USD, she's been out of sync with GBP USD and Euro USD. As you can see, while they're pushing down, she's been pushing up. So I'm on the sideline for NZD USD. My bias is to the downside. I would like to see it pull back down into the discount PD array from. Well, today we actually did pull back down until Friday 62 PD array level, right? We did get the retest of that today. So we actually did get that pulled back. But as you can see, that was still um opposite of what we got out of Euro and GBP USD. While I was expecting those to pull back up, right, into the premium discount array and continue to the downside. NZD USD pulled down into the discount PD array and continue to the upside. So that's what I mean by it's out of sync with its cousins or brother and sister, so to say. And that's why I'm kind of on the sideline with NZD USD because it's kind of doing its own thing, right? So I'm gonna keep it moving to futures. Looking at S&P 500 futures, I told you guys that I wanted to see us pull up to run Friday's buy side liquidity. And if we could run that buy side liquidity and break above it aggressively and close above it, that I expected us to pull up into the premium PD arrays. Well, we cut down today when we opened up running the weekly sell side liquidity, and we did close the day up, attempting to reach for that buy side liquidity. But as you can see, we opened up Asia markets, right, to the downside. So now I just want to see if we find support here, right? Maybe we come down and retest the discount PD arrays from today's price action, right? To get us back above today's buy side liquidity and on up to run Friday's PD arrays as I expected in the pre-week analysis. But if the dollar pushes up aggressively, then I do expect futures to continue to the downside, right? And I am bullish the dollar, right? That's my bias. Not that my bias um means anything, because we all know the market does what it wants to do. So my bias is just that, my bias, but the market could go in any direction. So being that I am bullish for the dollar, I am expecting price to push to the downside for ES, but I would like to see us at least run Friday's buy side liquidity. And if we're going to continue to the downside, to go down, we got to go higher, and to go higher, we got to go down. So if we're going to continue to the downside, I would love to see us push up to run that buy side liquidity. And it would be beautiful to see us push up and retest that, at least that 62% daily PD array before we slam down to the downside. But I will be looking to see how markets look in the morning for London and going into New York. If we're down around the discount PD array levels, and price isn't showing any willingness to go lower, then I'd be expecting us to run higher, to run up into those premium PD arrays. But if the dollar continues to the upside aggressively, then we could see S&P 500 push down into this BISI right here, this buy side and balance sell side inefficiency. It's coined by the mentor Michael Huddleston. So we already pushed to consequent encroachment of it. So let's see if we get the feel or if that was enough. If that was enough. And now they want to push the markets higher. But my bias for futures is to the downside. I do want to see us continue lower, right? But I like to see us run some buy side liquidity and PD arrays first to the upside before we continue lower. That's just me, right? Um, because if we can get up here and not break through um those PD arrays, those premium PD arrays, then that's great confirmation for me that price does indeed want to continue lower, right? But if we come down and retest this 62.79 discount array from today's price action, and then we can't break aggressively, break below it aggressively and close below it, then that leads me to believe that we still may have unfinished business to the upside as far as, and we could go as high as the weekly PD array levels that you see here and here. So just keep that in mind when looking at futures. Um, Lastly, NQ, same thing, same exact thing. I would like to see us continue lower. NQ did finally reach down to run that monthly sell side liquidity today. So I didn't even throw the PD array levels on today's price action for NQ. You can do that on your own time. But let me see something like that. Probably already. So, okay, we're on the 50% level of this move today. So, it looks like that weekly sell side liquidity is like consequent encroachment of the wick on today's candle. So, let's see if we slice through that and close below it. If we can push below that, close below it aggressively, then I'll be looking for NQ to push on down into this BISI, right? As coined by the mentor, Michael Huddleston. So that's what I would like to see. And I am bearish futures, so keep that in mind. But I would, if we get it. Oh, that was Friday. So yeah, I would like to see us run that premium PD array before we push down to the downside. So that's what I got, ladies and gentlemen, for the beginning of the week technical analysis. I'm very tired, y'all, so I know I didn't give y'all my best tonight. I probably was fumbling all over the place, so forgive me, but I gotta get me some rest, man. I've been up early this one. I was up at like 4 a.m. and being up all day. Exercise this morning, got my workout in, you know, ran some errands. So yeah, like I said, I meant to take a nap about around 6 o'clock. What, yeah, that didn't happen because I had to take an important phone call. So it is what it is. I hope you guys still gain some value out of this. Hope it added some value to your trading journey. Hope it gave you some added perspective to your own analysis. And yeah, man, as always, I appreciate you guys tuning in, coming out to get this knowledge and empower yourselves. Let your family and friends know you love them while they still here. Please. And as always, peace and love, everybody. You know.